Welcome to TFI Global, the antidote to mass delusion. Sahel is a vast expanse stretching between North Africa and West Africa, comprising Burkina Faso, Mali, Niger, Chad, and Mauritania. France colonized much of the Sahel region from the late 19th century to the mid-20th century. This left a lasting legacy of French martial and economic influence in the region. Even after independence, former French colonies saw the domineering presence of France, including forced military cooperation agreements and economic partnerships. France, in the guise of mediating regional conflicts, stayed firmly in Sahel. In due time, Sahel witnessed the rise of jihadist groups like Al-Qaeda and ISIS affiliates, leading to increased instability and violence in the region. France has intervened militarily in the Sahel since 2013, with Operation Barkhane being the most prominent mission. This intervention was aimed to combat jihadism and stabilize the region. However, France's involvement in the Sahel was a form of neo-colonialism, perpetuating dependence and hindering true development. Due to France's strong presence, NATO became a distant relative naturally. Sahel was all set to be NATOified until Wagner Group swooped in. Wagner Group sent French troops packing. And then Biden decided to provoke Russia through its Ukrainian puppet, Volodymyr Zelensky. France focused all its money and ammunition to keep a dispirited Ukrainian force somehow in war against Russia, and for a brief moment forgot all about Sahel. That's precisely when Russia began significant transformations in Sahel, reshaping the contours of military influence and regional security dynamics. The seeds of this reformation were sowed with the establishment of the G5 Sahel Group in February 2014 that marked a concerted effort to address the multifaceted crisis plaguing the Western Sahel, including rampant terrorism. This initiative aimed to foster security cooperation and coordinate joint military efforts to combat the growing threat of terrorism. However, the subsequent withdrawal of Burkina Faso, Mali, and Niger from the Economic Community of Western African States, or ECOWAS, to form their own military bloc, the Alliance of Sahel States, or AES, underscored a critical juncture in regional security governance. Russia's reinvigorated engagement with the Sahel, underscored by pivotal moments first in Sochi, that is 2019, 3 years prior to Ukraine war, and St. Petersburg, 2023, a year after Ukraine war, signaled a strategic pivot towards Africa, with President Vladimir Putin emphasizing the importance of security cooperation. The bilateral relations between Russia and African states, particularly in the field of military technical cooperation, were aimed at enhancing regional security, combating terrorism, and fostering economic partnerships. Russia's approach included sharing counterterrorism experiences, offering military assistance, and potentially establishing military bases, reflecting a broader strategy to extend its influence across the continent. The delivery of military equipment and training to Sahel countries, as evidenced by arms shipments to Mali, underscores Russia's commitment to supporting these nations in their fight against terrorism. The support was articulated through various channels, including the provision of peacekeeping personnel and the training of African military forces in Russian institutions. Furthermore, Russia's dialogue with Sahel countries extended beyond security to encompass economic and political cooperation, aiming to cultivate a multifaceted partnership. The formation of the Alliance of the Sahel States, or AES, by Burkina Faso, Mali, and Niger, following their departure from ECOWAS, represented a significant shift in regional alliances and security arrangements. This development not only challenged the efficacy of ECOWAS, but also reflected a broader discontent with traditional regional frameworks and the influence of external powers, which is basically a euphemism for NATO. Russia extended support for military-led governments in the Sahel despite NATO concerns regarding democratic governance, a pragmatic approach to foreign policy that prioritized stability and counterterrorism efforts over political orthodoxy. This stance aligned with Russia's broader objectives in the region and reflected a calculated effort to expand its sphere of influence amidst Western sanctions. Russia provided approximately 25,000 tons of free grain each to Burkina Faso, Zimbabwe, Mali, Somalia, Central African Republic and Eritrea. It even started gold refinery projects in Mali and signed on agreements to develop nuclear energy in Mali and Burkina Faso. Russia's outreach to Sahel manifested in the form of Sahel's abstention from UN vote on Ukraine, with the sole exception of Mauritania. UN General Assembly Emergency Session Resolution ES 11/1 adopted on March 2, 2022, demanding Russia cease its military operations and withdraw its troops from Ukraine. Mali, Burkina Faso, Niger, and Chad all abstained from voting.